Hello everybody, it's your boy Proftrof. We're back again on the Majorkill video. This is Imperial, Loyalist, Demons. Imperial? Majorkill, your title does not make sense. That does not exist, okay? That does not exist. My brain cannot comprehend this heresy.
G'day guys and gal. When you think of a demon, you probably imagine some kind of biblical horned red creature, or your mate Jono after he's gotten
Jesus. I don't know about this demon, but he fucking jacked my guy. Look at him. God damn, brother. Can I get some supplements on those?
mate Jono after he's gotten completely gacked after a few too many pingers on a Saturday night. Either way, it's generally a pretty dark and negative thing to see or imagine. Well, Warhammer actually spells demon like Daemon, but it sounds like demon, it just has an A before the E, which completely changes the definition from a cranky, horny, and I mean horny in a multiple ways here, evil devil spawn, to a supernatural entity that acts as a bridge between gods and humans. The main thing there being that a demon isn't necessarily evil, it's just that the warp is super messed up right now, so that 99% of the things swimming around in there are very naughty, but not 100%. Today we will go over that 1% of entities which fight for the Imperium and are loyalist to the Emperor, mostly because he was the one who created them.
Okay, well, we obviously know who some of these are. It's the Legion of the Damned. It's those saints that keep respawning. I don't know who else. Actually, those are my two clues. I'm not sure there's gonna be more. Probably more, right?
We'll talk about how they came to exist, how powerful they are, and other cute little fun facts about them. As a disclaimer, I won't be including friendly demons from other Xeno races, so no mention of the Tau's weird new blue wannabe Hindu dude chilling in there.
Wait, what? They got a Hindu god over there?
Let's get into it. The concept of loyalist or imperial demons is a pretty new one. Firstly, because the Emperor was a raging atheist and it would be seen as extremely hypocritical for him to employ the use of demons publicly, and secondly, it's physically impossible for a demon belonging to any of the Chaos Gods to join up with the Imperium or become good, as all Chaos demons are an extension of their god, hence if somehow one of them decided that Custodes are cool and wanted to join them, they would likely be instantly and painfully reabsorbed back into their god. The first potential Imperial demon was created by the Emperor during the unification of Terra. This entity was called the Angel, and it was like an experimental Primarch, except way more unhinged. Like this flappy boy made Conrad look sane. The Angel was twice as tall as a man and had a flaming sword and a blue flaming trail. It was a very dramatic looking being that loved to show off. It was also an absolute monster in combat, easily slaughtering naughty demons and even beating an ancient super powerful demon prince. As time went on though, its unstable mind began to get the better of it, hence it began to genocide humanity for the lols, you know, as you do. The Emperor was like, shit, fires a nuke, and tricked the
Emperor does not have that accent. Major, please stop.
Angel into a trap and put it in demon jail. He intended to destroy it.
Wait, the Emperor just didn't clap it on his own? Interesting. So was it that strong, or he didn't want to bother?
But it was stolen and hidden away, so the Emperor just kind of shrugged and forgot about it. Eventually, the ancient demon prince returns, hence the angel is freed by some inquisitors, and once again kicks the demon's ass, before once again attempting to genocide.
Wait, isn't this Imperius from Diablo?
Humanity, before once again being tricked into a trap, before once again being put in demon jail. Yeah, a bit of a deja vu there with that one. I believe this angel was a demon of the Emperor based on its physical description, its knack for killing warp entities, as well as its special requirement to imprison and destroy it. If it was just a prototype Primarch, there is no reason why the Emperor couldn't have just killed it on the spot. True. This is also probably why the Emperor decided not to create any more demons for a while. The first one was just a massive spurg.
Well, couldn't he, in theory, somehow take it to the warp and just release it in there so it would, you know, go crazy in the warp? Probably doesn't need sustenance, right? It's a demon, a diamond, that Daemon, whatever.
The next instance of Imperial demons were actually really epic. Towards the end of the Horus Heresy,
I know this is a legion. Oh, but there's no official form of the next demon. Oh. so it's not
And the webway was under attack, and Horus was being a classic creepy bold uncle, and he was trying to put his hands where they don't belong. The Emperor decided that Imperial Daemons were trendy again, so he gave it another shot. As the Custodians were being beaten back after fighting Chaos non-stop in the webway for years, the Emperor arrived to reinforce them. His sheer presence alone was enough to massacre millions of demons on the spot. To deal with the Chaos demons that didn't instantly shit themselves and die, the Emperor summoned forth an army of flaming ghost space marines that were either A, the vengeful souls of the Astartes that were killed on Istvan, or B, the manifestation of the Emperor's wrath over the death of the Astartes killed on Istvan. They even had a headless Ferrus Manus spooky ghost there. Regardless of if they were pissed off spirits or the Emperor's pissed off imaginary friends, they were Imperial Demons and they ripped Chaos Demons a new asshole. When the Emperor got turned into a living battery / dried vegetable, we didn't see or hear much from him for a while, which is fair enough. He was pretty preoccupied with holding the Imperium together and being a corpse. But after a few thousand years of sextillions of humans praising him as a god, he decided to give the Imperial Demon gag another shot. Hence he created the Legion of the Dead.
Yeah, but do we have no knowledge of how this happens? Like, it cannot be that easy to just, you know, hey, I'm gonna make a demon today. A little sulfur, a little water, perfect. Here you go. Go kill stuff. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
And now I covered them in their own video, but there are two conflicting theories about the Legion of the Damned. The first is that they were a legion that got infected with warp aids that caused them to perpetually burn, but also apparently be able to materialize at will whenever they are needed, which is fucking retarded. Let's just forget that theory. And the second theory, which is actually good, is that they were the Emperor's personal demonic chapter of Marines that he is able to fling at bad guys on occasion when they're needed. The only time when the arrival of the Legion of the Damned was stupid was when they attacked a craft world for no apparent reason, resulting in that craft world wiping out a Space Marine chapter in vengeance. Yeah, not really sure about that one. Regardless, badass Ghost Rider looking Marines that pop out of nowhere and shit on people's tits are definitely in the category of Imperial Demons.
True.
Our next Imperial Demons is a bit more benevolent and nice than the others. The Living Saints. Living Saints are basically normal humans that the Emperor gets a crusty boner for, and upon their deaths, resurrects them as overpowered.
You should have resurrected the dude we saw a video of yesterday. The dude that conquered 400 worlds. Alexander the Great in space.
Imperial demons who glow and can fly and shoot lasers and shit. As the Emperor is not a homosexual, the majority of Living Saints are chicks, and only a couple of them are actually cool. Most are pretty lame, or not even actual Living Saints, but are just given the title for some reason. Saint Celestine is the most prominent example of a Living Saint, as she flies around one-shotting greater demons and has died like 5 times.
Wasn't she killed by Corrin's little champion dude? The dude with the kill count on his sword, chainsword?
She also has 2 side hoes that fly around with her and also die regularly. Death is just a minor inconvenience for any form of demon though, hence true Living Saints can be resurrected whenever the Emperor feels like it. It's fitting that the next Imperial Demon on this list is Saint Celestine's boy toy, the Sanguinor. For ages, GW was mysterious about this dude. Was he a shard of Sanguinius' soul? Was he a manifestation created by the Blood Angels? Was he the original Herald of Sanguinius who had been juiced up on warp powers? Or was he just a meme created by the Emperor? Well, to make it simple, he is all of those things and he is none of those things. Thanks GW.
Question is he all those things? Answer is yes. Is it any of those things? Yes. Is it none of those things? Yes. Is he a thing? Yes.
Cryptic fucks. The Sanguinor is most likely the original Herald of Sanguinius who has been sucked off by both the Emperor as well as an ancient angelic warp god. He's a fucking Imperial Demon, alright?
Okay.
He is more or less just the dude version of Saint Celestine, except he only helps the Blood Angels, coming to them when the need is especially dire. And like he's an absolute beast. He more or less effortlessly kills whoever he wants, even Kabanda, the super demon of Khorne that once beat Sanguinius, the best Primarch, in a duel, and he was no more.
Whoa, there was some other, listen, there was other stuff going on in that duel. Don't just say he beat Sanguinius, no one just beats Sanguinius, okay? Unless it's the Emperor, but that's... That did not happen. The Emperor did not kill Sanguinius. Okay.
Match for Sanguinor. Like, Saint Celestine is powerful, but she dies a fair bit, whereas the Sanguinor doesn't even get a scratch. This will be my new argument for the age-old debate of who is better, men or women. The final Imperial Demon requires a bit of a tinfoil hat moment, but bear with me. The Primarchs. Now we know that the Primarchs required a lot of warp voodoo to be created, like the Emperor had to make some kind of deal with the warp and chaos gods in order to have them made in the first place. I want to take that further. I, and some others, believe that each Primarch is, or was, actually a minor warp god. The Emperor needed something from the warp to make them. I reckon he needed 20 warp god souls and then used his hectic biomancy skills to put those souls into mortal bodies. The best example of this is the existence of Sanguinius. In recent lore, it has been revealed that in the warp, there are two warp god angels fighting over the souls of the blood angels. One is dark and one is light. However, these angels have been fighting for millions of years, way before the blood angels, Sanguinius, or even the Emperor even existed. Hence the Emperor captured the souls of these angels and used them to create Sanguinius, hence why Sanguinius is so noble, but also capable of so much rage and darkness, and why the blood angels are linked to these ancient angels. This would also explain why the Primarchs are so diverse and hard to control.
What about the other cunts? What like Horus? Who is he? Some little goblin god? Ooh, I'm good. Ooh, I'm bad. Fuck you, Horus.
The Emperor didn't want to end up as a corpse leader of a dying superstitious empire. If it were up to him, all the Primarchs would be a bunch of autistic commanders that did what he said without question. But commanding the unfaltering and unquestionable loyalty of 20 gods is harder than it sounds. Actually, no, it sounds super hard. So I would say it's as hard as it sounds. Okay, so now the tinfoil hat is off.
I mean, he did clap two of his sons, right? We don't even know anything about them. I really hope that at some point they turn out to be alive and they're good guys. Fuck. Bring back Sanguinius! I want him back.
Regardless of if the Primarchs are warp gods shoved into a semi-human body, or if the Emperor just voodooed them together, they could be considered Imperial Demons based on their connection to the warp and their creation.
Yeah, I thought demons were immortal. They die. Okay, they die. They die a lot. Only Salamander dude does not die, because he's not diable.
Or, you know, maybe I'm a dumbass who's totally wrong and is about to look like a fool when the next couple codexes drop. A common trend with all Imperial Demons is that they are quite humanoid. The Angel, Legion of the Damned, Living Saints, Sanguinor, and Primarchs are all either merged with a human or created in the image of a human. It could be that the Emperor didn't want to create Imperial Demons from scratch due to the volatility, or more likely, it would be a bad look if you were fighting chaos, then a bunch of Imperial Demons with horns and tentacles and shit come to back you up, because then it's just chaos versus chaos at that point. The Emperor made a huge...
Maybe that is the next level of humanity. Chaos versus chaos. What if the chaos that wins still wants to kill humanity? Like our chaos wins. Maybe
about
not.
The importance
maybe
of appearance, hence why his armor was so decorative, and why the Custodes wear shining golden armor, despite them saying they would be more than comfortable wearing grey, dull, ugly armor. Same concept applies here. What motivates you more? A sexy, shining chick with wings, or a keeper of secrets? I'm talking about motivation here, not what makes you more horny, because, you know, then the question would be up for a serious debate. And that does us for today, guys. The Loyalist / Imperial Demons in Warhammer 40k.
Okay, listen, we're doing 2 videos today. I saw this was suggested in the next video. I really wanted to check it out. The Men of Iron explained by us. I know who the Men of Iron were. Like they're like the Mechanicus little side project that did not go correctly and fucked up everything. I don't know anything else besides that though. So let's find out.
Hey guys and gal. Everyone knows that the natural progression for any sci-fi setting involves a robotic uprising of some sort. Terminator, Star Wars, iRobot, hell, even the animated Robots movie. Warhammer 40k is no exception. Mankind had a really gnarly robotic uprising, which resulted in them getting pretty shat on and completely outlawing the use of true AI. Unless your last name is Call. Apparently that dude can do whatever he wants. As a quick side note, I've decided that I'm going to get back into the hobby and give painting another shot. Unfortunately, all my old Eldar units got thrown out, so I'm gonna have to start again. The Big Deval was kind enough to send me a Revenant Titan with Sonic Lancers as my first unit of my new army. Go hard or go home, I guess. So once I figure out how the hell to base this thing, I'll do a drunk stream of me attempting to paint it. That will probably be around next Friday. So if you have any suggestions on how to get this thing operational on a base, or what paint scheme I should go for, I'd love to hear it. Before we get started, sometimes I wish I had more than one girl watching my videos, but then I get a seriously fat sponsorship from Manscaped and realize, who needs girls when you've got the boys? Now, having fuzzy balls isn't a good thing. We are men, not gorillas.
Majorkill, you're scaring me.
After all, no girl wants ball hair in her teeth. Do they, Jess?
No, we really don't like ball hair in our teeth.
But using razors or clippers to trim the hedges risks the complete...
True. I've had a couple of incidents. It does not feel good if you cut your balls a little bit, okay? I'm just gonna say that. Blood squirt, it hurts. It hurts for a while. Don't do it. Well, do it, but be very careful, okay?
And utter destruction of your scrotum. Hence, Manscaped is here to save the day with a new perfect package. The pack contains all your grooming needs and more, with the highlight for me being the Lawnmower 3.0, which is the first ever scrotum-friendly clipper that I've seen or heard about. See how nice and gentle it sounds? Now compare it to my previous clippers, which I've now nicknamed Timmy the Testy Tearer. I know which one I'd rather caress my nuts with. The pack also contains a slick toiletries bag, special ball ointment, some manual tools, and a nice anti-chafing pair of boxers. It also contains a nose and ear hair trimmer, but as I'm 22 years old, you'd really hope I wouldn't have to be using that at the moment. The lawnmower can also be used on other parts of the body, so ask yourself, how long has it been since you shaved your neckbeard? Just make sure you wash the lawnmower before you take it from your balls to your face. Or don't, it really doesn't bother me. Thank you Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Today I'll be going over the history and lore of the Men of Iron, including their creation, their uprising, how they were stopped, and if any Men of Iron are still lurking around today. Let's get into it. Contrary to popular belief, a Man of Iron isn't a robot or has a set form. It's an AI that is so advanced that it has free thinking and free will. Hence, while you might see this as a Man of Iron, they could easily look like this or even like this. Obviously, they would generally opt not to inhabit a sex toy, but hey, free will is a hell of a thing. The Men of Iron were created and refined thousands of years before the Age of Strife and their Robo Uprising. They were originally created by the Men of Stone at the direction of the Men of Gold. A lot of manly men things going on here, sorry girls. The Men of Gold were genetically modified humans.
Don't you mean sorry, girl? Major? Don't you mean sorry, girl?
Humans that were pretty awesome and had functional dicks, unlike our beloved Astartes, and the Men of Stone were a more simplified AI that were more or less just semi-sentient machines. The Men of Iron, however, were an advanced physical AI race that performed all the tasks mankind didn't want to do, such as genocide and toilet cleaning. Eventually, around
mankind in 40k doesn't want to do genocide?
the 23rd millennium, the Men of Iron were like, fuck this shit, and staged a galaxy-wide uprising against their creators. Now this was during the age of technology, where
isn't this Megatron from one of the movies?
Mankind were godlike and had the most retardedly overpowered weapons, such as nanobots that could devour planets, and other machines that could eat suns or, you know, eat time-space itself. Mankind had more or less created...
Yeah, this would be pretty useful, was the Tyranids and the Necrons and Chaos and everything else.
created its own version of the Catan, and now those godlike super weapons were being used against them, and for them. Every single super weapon was deployed, and a lot of people ruptured their hemorrhoids. The conflict was so large that various Xeno races came to the aid of mankind to stop the Men of Iron, and after significant losses, I mean really fucking significant, the Men of Iron were destroyed. Or were they? Now, there are some theories that the Men of Iron rose up against humanity due to chaos, but I'm really sick of chaos being the source of all the galaxy's evil, so I'm in the corner that just reckons that artificial intelligence don't like being slaves, and due to being cold calculating robots, aren't against the prospect of massacring their daddies. By the end of the war, mankind had lost their Men of Iron, Stone, and Gold. Most of their super weapons were destroyed, and countless planets had been lost, not to mention the extreme death toll. There would have been hope to rebuild over the next few thousand years if it wasn't for the Eldar murder-fucking Slaanesh into existence. Due to their galactic blood orgy, the warp threw a tantrum, causing mass warp storms which cut off the now depleted human worlds off from each other, hence causing the decay that we saw when the Great Crusade was launched. In the current Warhammer setting, there are still Men of Iron. The Dark Angels are known for having a large arsenal of forbidden weaponry from the Dark Age of technology, because sometimes you just gotta whip out the big guns.
True.
Amongst this armory is numerous reprogrammed Men of Iron that all have kill switches in them. They are deployed as a last resort, and if they show any signs of wanting to commit genocide against humanity again, they explode instantly. Hence most, if not all of these imprisoned Men of Iron have been destroyed by the 41st millennium. The next instance of their return was the discovery of their STC. While an STC sounds like some kind of genital wart, it stands for Standard Template Construct, and was basically a blueprint on how to create a certain type of technology. The STC for the Men of Iron was discovered by some naughty influential humans, who tried to use it to create a robotic army and overthrow the Imperium's High Lords. Yeah, not really sure how they intended that to go, but either way the STC they had used had been corrupted by chaos, hence all the Men of Iron that were produced were massive assholes. Fortunately, Gaunt and his ghosts were able to destroy the STC, so nothing too spicy came out of all of that. Some people might use that as an example to be like, ha! I was right, Men of Iron were corrupted by chaos, hence why they rebelled. And I say fuck those people. Just because an STC had an STI doesn't mean chaos is the cause of all.
Don't you mean STD? I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Evil. I think GW realized that having the Men of Iron as a subfaction of Chaos was retarded, hence we are finally introduced to the first true Man of Iron, UR-025. While most Men of Iron were destroyed in
If it wasn't immediately obvious, I really had to push my resolution boosting software to the max for this one.
enslaved or lobotomized, UR-025 escaped completely intact. It's unknown how he did it, but he must have been a crafty bugger, considering he seems to be the only one that managed it. My theory is that he transferred his consciousness/AI unit into something extremely subtle, and basically hibernated until things cooled down a bit.
Maybe.
Then once mankind were more worried about warp storms and getting raped in the ass by demons, he transferred his consciousness again into a mobile form, and then fled to the fringes of the galaxy. It's likely he would have to do this dozens if not hundreds of times, to constantly evade suspicion and detection, until he eventually inhabited the body of a standard combat robot built by the Mechanicus. Now the Men of Iron uprising inspired the Big E to ban the true AI, even going as far as to change the word from artificial intelligence to abominable intelligence. Petty but effective.
Really?
Hence UR-025 had to act like a complete retard to avoid detection. Despite being supremely intelligent, he would have to speak slowly in like a downy robot voice to seem like any other generic Mechanicus robot. He is quite a meme lord though, saying that his tech priest master is called Magos Ethekicus Nankoktos, I don't get paid enough to fucking pronounce that shit, the third, aka Man 3, as a bit of a nod to what he truly is. It's cool because like, he's not chaosy at all. Sure, he's a cocky bastard and he thinks that he's better than everyone, but he doesn't go out of his way to cause harm or suffering. He only kills things when necessary. For example, a bunch of tech priests found him and were suspicious that he was more than he seemed, despite him trying to convince them that he was just a spurg and that they should just leave him alone. They didn't and forced him to go with them, so he massacred them in self-defense. He didn't claim their skulls, fuck their corpses, shit on their bodies, or set up an elaborate scheme to engineer their demise. He just went blam blam when he found an opening and left. Further proof that there was nothing chaosy involved. You get it?
No. At least he's not starting an uprising, okay? Humanity has a lot to deal with in this current age. So.
Good. Being the only Man of Iron in existence is pretty lonely though. He can't make friends with humans because they would just kill him on sight, and he can't make friends with robots because they're just all too retarded. True. However, in recent times, UR-025 has heard that the 7th Blackstone Fortress may contain an advanced AI on it, meaning that he might find someone or something to be friends with. Okay. Ironically, by partaking in the journey to the Blackstone Fortress, UR-025 is teamed up with a group of Xenos and outcasts that don't know what a Man of Iron is or why they should be worried by it. Hence maybe, just maybe, he has found the friends he was searching for all this time. Nah, probably not. They probably just think their nifty combat bot has a few screws loose. UR025's story hasn't progressed too wildly, but it does show that GW is happy to bring back elements from the fabled Dark Age of technology.
That's good.
There is so much potential.
I mean, this sounds like it could be a very nice story. Adding some humor, a killbot, you know, it sounds like a cool story.
Storytelling to be done in the Warhammer universe, and we have barely scratched the surface. And that does us for today, guys. The lore and story of the Men of Iron within Warhammer 40k so far. There are a couple other robots that have been mentioned in the lore that could maybe be the Men of Iron, but as the saying goes, unless you're 100% certain of something, then ignore it. I'm kidding, that's a terrible saying, don't quote me on that.
Yes.
If you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be, where only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more Metal Man
The Dark Elf in Warhammer 2's mummy
content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I gotta be honest, Man of Iron sounds pretty cool. You know, besides the whole thing of killing humanity, they would have been pretty useful against chaos and tyrannids and everything else. Unfortunately, they kind of want to try to kill us all, so fuck them. And a quick thank you to the patrons. Pedro Martinez, Clasco, Rob, Barry Swast, Derek Fish, Gift Tree, Sinu Hilter, Lemon Moon, Like Dash, Orion, James Bizone, Orion Water. Thank you all for the support. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time, everybody. Have a nice day.